What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Coach Nostra, back at you guys with that sneaker review, unboxing, on feet, and the killer sock combo, guys. Let's jump into another one. Alright guys, I had to track these down for a price that I was willing to shell out for these things, and understandably, with all the craziness going on in the world outside, some people are willing to come down on some of the prices for some of the things that they're asking because unfortunately some people are not working, guys. So I was able to get these things for a decent price. I'm sure you guys recognize the box, the Nike Kyrie 6 CNYEP, which of course stands for Chinese New Year. The colorway on this joint is Opti Yellow / black in a size 11, guys. Let's pull these out and check this pair out. Alright guys, there we have the Nike Kyrie 6 Chinese New Year, the yellow version of this particular colorway, because of course this year Nike Basketball chose to drop not one but two iterations of the Kyrie 6 to commemorate Chinese New Year. This pair released overseas, and then I want to say actually saw a little bit of a release stateside, while it was the black colorway that really saw the widespread release over here statewide. Having said that, even that black colorway I had to actually track down. We did not get them at my local Foot Locker or local stores around here, which my local Foot Locker tends to get just about everything, especially in that Nike basketball vein. So a little bit surprising to not see them drop. I kind of imagine that maybe out there towards Fayetteville, they probably got those things. They tend to get a little bit more just because it's a little smaller store, but sales wise they really sell out of stuff just because they're like right there on the military base. So you've got everybody coming, spending all that military money, getting those military discounts and whatnot. And I definitely know some people that have that military discount that use the hell out of it to try to sort of flip shoes, cop shoes, and make a little bit of extra money here and there along the way. These are dope. I definitely like these more than that black colorway, even though that black colorway is definitely a little bit more toned down, a little simpler, a little bit more expected than the craziness that you have really dominating this particular colorway of the shoe. The most noticeable thing about this shoe has got to be the yellow portions of the upper. When you really take in the totality of the colorway, there's probably only about 50% of the shoe that's dominated by yellow, but it's just such a bright, vibrant yellow, and the portions that they actually chose to throw it on the shoe, it really stands out. The next feature of the shoe to me that really is something that draws the eye, you can't help but notice, especially if you've been paying attention to these other Kyrie 6 drops along the way, is definitely going to be this midfoot strap, where a lot of these basketball colorways really have that love-hate relationship with the clear portions of the icy outsoles. This shoe chose to do something a little bit different, and you've actually got the icy hits on the strap itself. So it'll be interesting to see over time how that sort of ages and yellows, and how vivid that sort of crystally blue strap stays over time. As you work your way towards the end of the strap, because it is semi-transparent, you can see the white from that Velcro hit on the underside of the strap itself. The other thing about the strap is, with all the Kyrie 6s that they've dropped so far, you've got a very smooth strap. The shape of the strap on every iteration has been exactly the same. The lines are exactly the same. When you look at this one, not only do you have texture to the actual strap itself if you're running your hand over it, but there's some waves going on to the actual exterior portions of the strap. When you look close, you can see that all-seeing eye, they've made sort of this like interlocking pattern all across the strap, and the sort of ridges of the diamonds. That's what sort of gives the outer portions of the strap its shape. So again, something that's very different. It's pretty cool how when you reach towards the end of the strap, it almost has this sort of pointed, almost like a three-claw kind of texture to the strap itself. Very different than anything the Kyrie 6s have dropped so far, but something tells me going forward we might see something a little bit similar in terms of a crazy colorway with these. And then the third most noticeable feature is gotta be the patterns that dominate that textile portion of the toe box. You have sort of this almost traditional kind of flowery type material that really dominates the toe box of the shoe. Even though I'm a little bit ignorant of some of the things culturally that go hand in hand with Chinese New Year, admittedly, to me the patterns are very stereotypical of something in that vein, so it makes sense to me. I also read that there's some old school sort of Nike symbols and stuff mixed in there, which you can sort of see the pinwheel of swooshes that we saw earlier in the year kind of dominating some of the Nike releases with some of those packs that they were putting out, especially some of the Air Max shoes and colorways and stuff like that. So the pattern on that shoebox, to me, it really kind of portrays flowers and leaves and stuff like that. And the other cool thing about it is how they chose to sort of blend and throw variations of the colors all across the pattern right there. Very cool, very different in my opinion. They've done a lot of dope stuff with the Kyrie 6 so far, especially from jump with that entire city pack that dropped. And yet they're still managing to kind of come up with some different ideas and implement some different things on some of these other colorways, which to me is always dope, always cool. Obviously, as you can see, I've got so many sneakers that it really takes something like this to really distinguish a colorway. For me personally, I tend to gravitate towards stuff that's not necessarily super simple in terms of the color blocking and stuff like that, but I also appreciate and dig and buy and wear that stuff too. So don't get me wrong, I'm a true sneakerhead. I love it all. I won't really bash anybody's shoes. You've got hits of black on the shoe as well, whether it's portions of the sort of mud guard on the shoe, the actual Nike swooshes that you see, which are actually going to be this sort of glossy kind of plastic material, and it's outlined in this sort of subtle gold stitching. Both swooshes, whether it's the medial or the lateral portion of the sneaker. You got light blue hits on that rubberized heel counter, which somewhat match portions of that strap, especially that inner medial portion of the strap where it really lays atop the yellow hits of the leather that you see back there. The inner sock liner is going to be kind of like this hunter green, kind of forest green color. The shoe is actually laced up with purple laces, so you've got a lot of really kind of weird colors thrown on this shoe that some would think wouldn't really work. But altogether, in my opinion, this shoe goes hard. This colorway goes hard. And that sock combo that I got for you guys, I think is going to impress you guys as well. You have a little stab of pink right here on that Zoom Turbo unit, which they always sort of decorate that Zoom Turbo unit in a different color other than what makes up the midsole or the outsole, really to make it pop, to really draw your attention, to get you reading and maybe doing a little research on what exactly the Zoom Turbo unit is, because Nike Basketball is definitely proud of the Zoom Turbo unit, as I think they should be. One of the more innovative, in my opinion, directions that they've gone with an airbag in the last, decade, 2 decades or whatever. Fairly simple outsole. You've got predominantly all opti yellow, you got some hits of purple, and then you have an all orange, all-seeing eye, whether it's the outer portions of the eye or the pupil itself. Another thing to touch on, that back portion of the upper, the portion that's going to be around your heel, you've got really soft, dope hits of leather back there, which are really reminiscent of the very first colorway, that black and white colorway that hits shelves. To me, I feel like that leather on foot when you're actually hooping and playing basketball, jumping around, bending and contorting all kinds of different ways, that's going to be the most forgiving. That's going to feel the best. It's the softest. It's the most plush, in my opinion. It's definitely a lot more forgiving than the lenticular portions of the City Pack, which to me, those are my favorite colorways. But playing on court over time, I would think that this version of the shoe would be way more comfortable. I know I'm coming at you guys with this review really late, but I figured I'd throw the review and the sock combo with these things at you guys anyway. And last but not least, on the tongue, you've got Nike's 2020 Chinese New Year emblem right here on the right tongue, while you've got the traditional Kyrie Irving logo on the left tongue. All the 2020 Chinese New Year hits have had that logo, and me personally, I always like it when there's a little bit of variety from one shoe to the next shoe. Guys, what do you think? Let's check these things out on feet. Let me know down below. You digging these? Do you like the black colorway better? Let me know down below, guys. Thank you for rocking with me in my video. Stay safe, everybody. Stay informed, everybody. Peace.